Hi, I'm glad you made it here. You're in the right place. My name is Melissa Klein, and I run a private practice in California, but started counseling families all over the world once I realized just how many families are suffering from the same things with little help or support. And if you feel like that's you, you're in the right place. Families would discover my practice after leaving psychologists and top-tier doctors and tell me things like, she's still not opening up, or I'm not seeing any real change in him. Within weeks, with my approach, parents were sending long thank you emails and saying how glad and grateful they were. All I could think was, what are these psychologists and doctors doing that's just not as effective as my practice? I was puzzled. But these two little keys I'm about to share with you are the main ingredients of what has shifted dozens upon dozens of families here in the US and abroad. So, I hope you have a notepad, because I don't want the simplicity of this to go over your head. Just because it's simple does not mean it's not powerful and highly effective. Okay, here goes. Number one, the first key, a new kind of listening. Let me share this story with you. I remember a little girl, we'll call her Bethany. She came into my practice. I immediately told her mother, I am not an authoritarian figure or a psychologist coming to diagnose or reprimand your daughter. She must understand this. So let's refer to me as Melissa, not Mrs. Melissa or Miss Klein or Mrs. Klein or Dr. So-and-so, just Melissa. In the session, I leveled with her daughter. I got down on her level and let her know this is her safe space. And I told her she doesn't have to worry about being judged, disciplined, or looked down upon. And hear this, I addressed this little girl as if she was a little adult with real concerns, real needs, and real goals. And do you know what happened? She started to share her real concerns, real needs, and her real goals. I mean, completely dumping her fears. Detailed examples of tough situations she had with her mother. And when I asked her, does your mother know any of this? She alluded to the fact that she shared about 15% of it with her mother. But because her mother didn't believe or understand that 15%, she didn't feel comfortable sharing the other 85. This blew me away. Then she shared with me why her mother didn't believe her. Can you believe it? She knew why, and she understood it. This is what a new kind of listening is. The child is saying much of what they've said before, but without a translator or someone to teach you your child's language, it falls flat. Think about it this way. You and your spouse are supposed to go to dinner Saturday. You check in with your spouse and they grunt a bit and say, oh yeah, okay, I remember now. You've likely learned to translate what that grunt means. It might mean they likely don't want to go but don't know how to tell you, or it might mean they're concerned about who will be there. But a lot of times we've learned to understand what something like a grunt would mean. Children are the same. Their shrug of the shoulders, their I'm fines or panic attacks are all a language that requires a new kind of listening, or someone to teach you your child's language. Because children can easily see I pick up and understand their language, they don't share the 15%. They share the 100 with me. Number two, this is what always blows my mind. Once a parent learns their child's language in a minimum of 5 weeks, the root of the issue always presents itself. but you must be looking for it. Oftentimes, it's easy to focus on the behavior, arguments, maybe your expectations, their angst, low confidence, or their meltdowns. But if you know what you're looking for, it becomes easy to find it. This is what we do together. Now, I'm not going to sugarcoat this. I have a unique gift of learning children's languages in record time. And once children know I understand them, communication is easier and they just open up. I remember I had a client, we'll call him Jim, and he would say in every session that his week was fine. All the time, oh, my week was fine. I'd list out a few topics that maybe he would want to talk about, and every time he'd say, no, this week was fine. By the subtle shift in his face via Zoom, I could tell the exact topic he really wanted to discuss. I'd say his language was one of the most subtle, yet if I didn't learn it, I would have never been able to take Jim from very low confidence and severe angst to someone who'd now be ranked most confident in his friend group. Panic attacks gone, and with his parents' support and understanding of his language, things have really smoothed out at home. So, are you ready to get to the root of your child's issue? If you've learned the language of your spouse, boss, or best friend, is it possible that maybe it's time you learn the language of your child too? Now, I want to be completely honest with you. If from a 1 to 10, and 10 being the most concerned for your child, if your concern isn't at a 5 or above, this counseling solution is not going to be the right fit for you. But if what I've shared resonates with you and you're ready to see that shift in your child, bringing back peace into your home, you should definitely book a call with me. I'll be the compassionate expert on the other end, and together we'll determine what the next right step should be. And if this counseling program is in alignment for you, I'll let you know right away. This is your moment. I'm glad you're here. Click the button at the bottom of this page and schedule a call.